Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from downtown, beautiful downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. People will argue with me about that one. Um, in the studios of 4680Q, as long as we're here for, which probably won't be much longer, but we're going to get through this show for sure with it. And I have my compadre, my co-host, my city council agenda review guy, Dave Wheeler, sitting right here.
Indeed, yes.
Say hello to all your fans out there. Except Alicia.
Hi, Alicia. Well, Alicia, I think you have Wheels derangement syndrome. There are help for that. There's Wheels derangement syndrome Anonymous. You can go there. But I don't know. She said a lot of negative things about me. Is that her way of flirting? Do you think?
I don't know. She might like you.
Yeah, I
don't know what's going on with that.
I detect something there. You are a jerk. Wheels. Yeah, I think there's something in that.
So anyway, I got a message from Brad Pine here. Brad, this is a city council agenda review, so we're not going to be getting into anything about anything else. We're got to get through this agenda. And Dave, it's a real long agenda on this rainy Monday morning, although it stopped raining, and I don't think it's going to rain for the rest of the day, but you never know. So we got to get through this agenda. There's a lot there. This is going to be a long meeting tonight for these, or tomorrow night for these guys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to remember the meeting's tomorrow at 4. And you can catch that on NiagaraFalls.ca, or you can catch it on YouTube. It's on both.
Now, I used to catch it on YouTube on my computer.
Yep.
Then I can just go back and forth really quick. Check this, check that.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. So I keep my my sheet right there, so I know exactly what's going on, what I wanted to talk about. So, But before we get into the show, let's get into my sponsor, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. And another week and school's out, Dave. You know that. And what do people want to do? They're going to be wanting to go with their kids. Yes, they're going to want to go on vacation. They're going to want to drive somewhere, to Darien Lake or something. Oh, no, a lot of people don't want to go to the States now. But they'll be going to Muskoka or Maple, Ontario for Canada's Wonderland. And you know what? A lot of times their car will break down. That's just Murphy's Law. Hey, get your car into Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. You won't have to worry about it. Ken Hunter is going to go through your car, top to bottom, front to back, make sure all systems are go, including safety issues like your brakes and your suspension and your air conditioning and your battery, all the stuff that could cause you big problems. So at the end of the day, you're traveling motor and worry free. Not motor free. You need a motor, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I definitely need a motor, and that's where Ken Hunter comes in, right?
And that's why you go to Wild Bill's.
Yes,
it's got to be running right. Wild Bill's Repair and Body Shop, Oakwood Drive, on next to the Kia dealership. You can't go wrong. WildBillsAuto.ca, and while you're at that website, jump over to my YouTube channel, Paul Lemire 4973, and you can subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing. It's free. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comments. Say what you want. We read them on the air. Dave can tell you that I do, except for some that are repetitive.
Well, the most wisdom ones, the ones that are the most cutting, yeah, I cuss them out.
Yeah, I leave out. I don't want Wheels to show me up.
That's
it. Anyway, that's that. So let's get into this. Oh, Canada by Ben and Mateo Villegas. So congratulations to them. It's always good to hear these people singing "Oh Canada" a cappella in front of people. Great practice for their future music career if that's where they're going. And I sit there at home actually, and I'm clapping for these guys.
I should do it myself.
Yeah, you should get up there and sing.
Get up and sing. Sure. Yeah.
Why can't you?
I'll bring my saxophone and accompany myself.
There you go. Just warn everybody before you do that, so nobody gets injured. No people are injured in the
houses. Do not bring tomatoes or cabbages. I don't want them thrown at me.
So
no big hooks.
Yep. Oh yeah. So he says hello, Brad Pine, to hey Wheeler. He'll get going. Get Wheeler going. Get him rolling. Okay, so then we have the disclosures and mayor's presentation, and of course, I think at $1,600 an hour, they should be moved to the proper venue, not in a business meeting that we call city council meeting. And we always say that every week. Nobody listens to us, Dave, but we say it.
Yes, this takes up time. Although it's kind of interesting stuff. It's the city adaptation implementation plan, the climate adaptation.
Yeah, I
Whether
saw
you
that.
like it or not, you can get some pretty interesting stuff there. But do we need to take up the city council's time? It should be done on in private with the mayor or somebody else can be doing all this for the benefit of the citizens of Niagara and not intrude upon a council meeting like this. This is for information stuff, really. I mean, it's an update about what they're doing for climate. And if you look at it, it's pretty interesting. More canopy, more trees, more all that kind of thing. But it will take up a lot of time. And when you really want to get down to business, is it appropriate to have that there? Can't you put it somewhere else?
Well, just have it as a report and people can read it. I mean, that's what's there for us to read and for council to read. But ultimately, there's no use sitting here talking about it, really. I mean,
I think you can have a separate video altogether, right? You can have a separate video where the mayor or some aspects of council sit there and whoever gives the presentation, and you can view that later. It does not have to be during council.
okay, so we move on from those little tidbits and we get to item 7.1 City Climate Adaptation Implementation Plan. Is that what you were talking about?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay, so I got it written down. And me, you know me about climate change and all this climate change stuff. I think it's a hoax. I don't think it's real. So, in my regard, this is a waste of time, waste of money, spending taxpayer money on this crap. But that's just me. I say stop the insanity. Other people say that the insanity is here. So, depends what side you're on the coin you're on climate change. That's all it depends on. I see them spending way too much money on this stuff. You can't predict the weather tomorrow. How are you going to predict it in 2060?
All we do know, though, regardless of what you think or anyone thinks about how we got here, climate is getting warmer. And so, for whatever cause, that's undeniable. So, how do you adapt to it going forward? And this is pretty much that climate adaptation, better facilities to deal with, the canopy, make the city a little bit more climate adjustable. So you're going to have to need more cooling centers and things like that, particularly in the summertime. But regardless of how you think we got here, we are here, and the climate change is happening, and it's warming things up.
There you go. That's what they're going to talk about. If you're into it, hey, read it and listen when they talk about that.
How much do they pay for that, though?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, they're already making sewers bigger because they think there's going to be more rain in 30 years and the sewers won't be able to handle it and everything else. And every time you take a pipe from this size to this size, it costs money. So they're spending plenty all over the world, not just in Niagara Falls. People think climate change, Al Gore, billions of dollars, Paris Accord. But, we also, that all trickles down to municipal politics, municipal city council, who have to plan for the future if they really do believe that this is all going to happen, or if they believe this is just weather. It goes in cycles, and some winters are colder than others.
Well, there's long cycles and short cycles, of course. But generally speaking, temperatures going up in a gradual and steady. And the only real explanation they have for it is CO2 gases or greenhouse gases. That's the only variable that they can't adapt into the model without it being the cause of it. But whatever reason, it is going up. And so if our city is going to be warmer, we're going to have to adapt to it. I mean, the big cities in the southern United States, the big army bases, they're all shifting north now. Those huge investments they make, they're shifting north because they have to, because it's too hot where they are now.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so Gary Wilkins says, let's start with item 9.5. We'll get to it, Gary. We'll get to it. Don't worry about it. Item 7.2, planning the world's largest ugly sweater party. Welcome to Carnival City. I mean, this is the stuff that Carnival Cities do. I know Matt Garachi, he's planning it, and there's no doubt he can pull it off. There's no doubt about it. No pun intended, pull it off of an ugly sweater party, right? He runs the big one at Grand Central for ugliest Christmas sweater party. The problem is, how much do the taxpayers have to be involved in this crazy scheme? The approximate cost to run the event is about $170,000. The plan is to operate at zero profit in year one, then reinvest all revenue into year two. But if it's zero profit in year one, what revenue are they going to be able to invest in year two? Okay, so then we find out why Mr. Garashi is gracing this council with his presence, and he wants $185,000 out of the MAT fund to pay for it all, and that's the extra money they charge every person who rents a motel room or hotel room in Niagara Falls, the MAT, the municipal accommodation tax. He wants to get the money out of that to pay for it. Personally, I don't like the idea of one person running the event not to have any skin in the game. So basically, if he wants money, I would give him something, maybe. But there's no way I'd give him $185,000. You go out, you get sponsors, and you get them to pay for the event. And coming to the city for the whole 185 seems out of line to me. The hotels, the attractions, the restaurants, they're all going to profit for them, according to Mr. Garashi, because they're going to be full. He's going to attract 4,000 people to the city with ugly sweaters, set a Guinness Book of World Record for it. They should be willing to chip in between all the hotels, the big hotels, and everybody else that's going to be benefiting. They should be able to give them $185,000. That's not a lot of money when you think about it. So I don't know how city council is going to go. Dave, what do you think of this?
I'm not so sure. I have the same skepticism as you do. Guy comes along, he's got this great proposal, and all I need is $170,000. Well, yeah, and like I said, whereas his skin in the game, yeah, these things are. This is supposed to happen on December 5th, and he says, well, it will help tourism stuff like that. Anything to attract more people in the off season, like December 5th, that would be a good idea. But I am anxious to see his proposal because it doesn't really ring any kind of confidence with me. You're going to have an ugly sweater event that's going to really pay off, and all I need is 170 grand. That's all paltry figures. I don't know. Anybody in the right mind at City Hall would not be relinquishing $170,000 that easily. The business case he has to present would have to be very, very convincing.
Yeah, we'll see what he says tonight. He does have his numbers all there, but it's just one of those things that grinds me. That much money just to be given to some guy in the hopes of making this work, and Nat's done it before. He's good at what he does. I know the guy, but man, oh man, I can't see city council in an election year just giving this guy $185,000. If the new council looks at it and says, no, we're not giving it to him, what's he do?
Yeah.
October 26th, they're all replaced. The budget's going to come out in November, and they're going to have to explain to taxpayers why they're raising our rates, 4 or 5 or 6%, whatever they do. This isn't going to help them to.
Well, they're supposed to come right out of the right out of the municipal
MAT tax.
Yeah,
well,
MAT tax.
That's true. So that's another good point. But still, that money can be used for a lot of different things, not just an ugly sweater contest. I don't know what the city's going to do.
I
don't know.
They're going to have to look at his business plan and see what potential this really is. If it's something there that we're not seeing, like a really, really good scheme that has been proven elsewhere, where an ugly sweater contest has, made a lot of money. I know people are into stuff like that, but how long will something like that? Sometimes it's just a fad thing. Okay, for a few years there's an ugly sweater contest, then it all dies off. Who makes sweaters nowadays? Who knits sweaters? Those ugly sweaters you're talking about are the ones that your aunt knitted you, right?
And he's talking about having 4,000 people here and charging them $36.99 or something a person to enter this thing. I mean, you do the math, and that's not quite enough to cover it, but it goes to about 120,000 or something, plus other tickets and that he's selling. I don't know. I can see the city maybe getting involved with a good idea and seeing how it works. but not to the tune of 185,000. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what they're going to give them, if anything. But if I were city council, if I was sitting there, I would say no.
Well, plus ugly's in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? It's a
Yeah.
completely subjective thing. Somebody's going to say, my sweater's way uglier than your sweater, and you want no way.
Guinness is going to be checking it off. We'll see if they can get 4,000. Item 7.3, I would disband. This is the DEI committee. I disbanded. I'm out of DEI totally. I don't even like it. I never did. I believe in meritocracies where anything that happens is happening because you have the most talent, you have the most skill, and the best person who's qualified for the job gets it, regardless of color, race, religion, sexual persuasion, whatever. So these DEI committees, to me, are just a waste of time, and they do cost money. I would get rid of them. Affirmative action hasn't worked anywhere, so when I see this, it just makes me mad. Like I say, this is a piss me off agenda when I saw it.
Yeah, I'm with the merit too. I would say that everybody should apply with a number and not a name, just a number, and with their credentials, verifiable credentials. Let human resources shortlist it, then come in for interviews. That way, you're going to get people. It doesn't matter what, if you're from Mars, although I don't know. I think Martians are dirty and smelly and shouldn't live in Canada, but aside from
Martians.
Martians.
Yeah, I've only met 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wasn't impressed.
Yeah. My only prejudice is against Martians. But anyway, so I would say that is the way to go. Merit alone. And it doesn't matter what you look like, what sexual persuasion you have, anything else like that. If you can do the job, that's what we do.
Yeah, and when they were showing the committees in the budget, when these DEI committee comes up and they spend $5,000, they give them to run every year or whatever it is. I don't know what it was, something like that. Most committees seem to get around 3,000 to 5,000, and I'm just saying, disband it. You don't need it. Forget about it. I think the seniors one that they're going to be talking about in the agenda is just a little more. I like that. Maybe because I'm a senior. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, but I often wondered what the diversity, equity, and inclusion thing does, how much it costs, and how much of it is like sort of self gratifying. You can always find something that you can, talk about. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it or not. We'll have to see. They're giving out awards tonight anyway, so we won't get too much into it. Or tomorrow night anyway. We won't get too much into it.
Nah, they'll just give a little report from the committee.
Yeah, so I've often wondered if they're worth it, these committees.
Yeah, well, you got to wonder. Item 7.6, Transportation Master Plan. You can read through it. It doesn't say a lot. I'd have one question. Where's my monorail? That's all I care about. I want a monorail. Nothing about a monorail in this presentation, so I lost interest real quick.
Oh, I forgot the age-friendly Niagara Council, the AFNC. Right.
What's that, 7 point?
Yeah, 7.5.
Yeah.
Is that the one Gary wanted to talk about?
No, 9.5.
Okay.
But I read through those, but they're I like them because they plan to give seniors things to do as we have an aging population. They're kind of planning for, giving seniors places to go and things to do and that kind of thing, which I think is pretty cool because seniors today aren't like the seniors 30 or 40 years ago. They're pretty active and they stay active into their 80s and 90s sometimes. So it's
That's
good
right,
that they have places to go, like,
plus they vote.
Tim Shafley, he likes to go to Euchre and cribbage and everything or whatever, right? So, yeah, and plus they vote.
Plus they vote, and plus they spend money. Seniors, particularly the boomers, have money to spend.
CC. 7.7, homeless report from Ken Todd. Now, Ken Todd was enlisted by City Council at no charge to City Council for his time, he says. And he was enlisted to take a look at the homeless problem. And there's some numbers in there. It's a good read, a long read. There are numbers which put it all in perspective. A 67% increase in homelessness since 2020. What happened in 2020? I think something called COVID came down the pipe when they laid everybody off and closed a bunch of businesses and wouldn't let anybody do anything. And ever since then, homelessness increased. And ever since then, our taxes have increased substantially. even over the last 4 years by 25%. So people are losing their homes and they're on the street. And yeah, it just kind of seems that 2020 year started it all. But anyway, our recommendations are action by money, of course, something nobody has right now. So it's an interesting read. I'll talk about this more tomorrow, but there are some good ideas and information in the presentation. Good job, Ken Todd. What do you think, Dave? You read through it?
Yeah, I read through it, but what does it tell us that we didn't already know?
Not much.
Pretty much all they did is collate everything in one place. So normally when you hear discussions on this, you get a bit of this, you get a bit of that. So he's brought everything into one place. And pretty much he hasn't told me anything I haven't already known. And the advice that they've given to move forward with this isn't anything we've already have not heard. We've heard all this before, that we have to collect all the different agencies in town that deal with this and, increase places for them to go and all that. The real issues, though, they talk about, the cost and everything like that, the cost of housing, and that participates part of this. But the big issues are mental health and addiction. And what came first, the chicken or the egg, the addict or the mental health? And these are the things that are causing these people to become the wastrels and offscourings of society. We don't like them anymore. We used to have sympathy for them, but we don't anymore, do we? When when they have when they go to the bathroom in the middle of the street or that kind of thing. This is the attitudes that I'm worried about. Is people will get fed up unless something is done. People Homeless people will be run off places, will be hit with sticks like they did in the old days. And, I'm not so sure. Yeah, if this motivates any action, that'd be great. But it's going to have to be centralized action. It's going to have to be everybody coordinating. And really, the big issues are mental health and addiction.
Yeah, definitely.
The other ones contribute, but they do so minorly.
So we'll see what Ken Todd has to say in this presentation and what questions council can come up with for him. But so it's a serious problem in Niagara Falls, not just Niagara Falls, all over North America for sure.
That's exactly right. And that's another question I had to ask. Was this is happening in every municipality all over Ontario? And you said North America, that's true too. So what are they doing? How come there hasn't been any resolute solutions? Because it's really tough. And whether our friend here, Ken Todd, has come up with anything insightful, I'm not so sure, since every community everywhere in North America is dealing with the same thing and really haven't come up with much.
Well, the best thing I've seen is Skid Row. I mean, they just put them all in one area so they can deal with them, and they have amenities there, like showers and that kind of thing, bathrooms, and that keeps them from going on the street. And also they have social services there where they're all in one area. So social services patrol that area and help as many people as they can. And it's the same with the Kensington area in Philadelphia. I've watched so many documentaries on this, and even the guys who do it every day are trying to figure out a way to deal with it. And it all starts way back when, that people just don't get into drugs in the first place. And mental health, make mental institutions great again. I guess that's the only thing you can do. When they started cutting them out because of funding and that, and people were on the street, then this became a bigger problem and a huge problem. So I've watched documentaries, and it's there in every big city for sure, and small cities too. Tough to deal with, Dave, like you said.
Yeah. What came first, addiction or the mental health? And it's a ever-ending spiral. People take drugs to relieve themselves from the pressure and dismality of their existence, feel better, come back to the same place, take some more drugs, back and forth. It's just a never-ending thing. And after a while, the drugs really aren't doing them any good, but they still hope that they will. And so they take more drugs because they remember when it did kind of relieve the pressure on them, but it doesn't, but they still try. And it's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle. It really, really is. Okay, now I have nothing else after that in the sevens. Next thing is Planning Matters 8.1, unless you have something.
No, I just like to smoke a joint now. If there's
Yeah. Hey, go ahead. It's not like it hasn't been done before. Item 8.1 Valleyway. 6 block stacked townhouses, 99 dwelling units, 2 bedrooms units, 110 parking spaces, 5 of them accessible, egress onto Valleyway and Shirley Avenue. And I wasn't sure where this was at first. And then I looked and it's at the side of Lori Elgin School.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
and
Shirley Avenue, because then it connects with your.
yeah, Shirley Avenue runs right into Amelia, my street. But it's down at the south end of Shirley Avenue, a little ways away, but not that far. But it's just a big open field. That was the soccer field for Lord Elgin and sports field when they were around, and now it's vacant. So they're going to build these 99 dwelling units, 2-bedroom units, and 6 block stacked townhouses. They're calling them. And they're going to be affordable. All units meet affordable housing criteria with anticipated sale price of $399,000. I should move into one of those.
Yeah, well,
Stay
they
in my
look good.
neighborhood.
The pictures look good, but all of a sudden, when you start looking at the fine print, it does not qualify for development chargement relief. In other words, if it is within a certain range of affordability, you don't have to charge them, or you won't charge them development charges. But it doesn't qualify for that. So how does it qualify for affordable? I mean, it is attractive for the amount of money you're spending. I haven't seen them, but it looks good in the paperwork.
In the pictures.
The pictures looks real nice. It doesn't have enough parking, if you ask me. That there's another place that wants to go with less parking
Yes.
for visitors, which is not a good idea, in my view. But it does not qualify for the development charge relief. So if it doesn't qualify, how then does it qualify as being affordable? Maybe just the price, but
I hope somebody asked that question.
yeah.
You know, I know the property well. I mean, of course, we were kids. It was an orchard. We used to monkey around in there in the field. But I think the concerns of the residents are going to be, it's going to be used as a shortcut to Valleyway. Instead of having to go around Portage Road and everything, you'll be able to drive down the end of Shirley Avenue and just go through this complex, and it'll take you right out onto Valleyway, right? It's like a shortcut for me. It'd be beautiful.
yeah, and I think that's part of the issue here when they wrote it up about what's going to happen. They kind of claim that the residents themselves, of course, wouldn't go down Shirley, which was the first though. Well, all these residents will be going on. No, it's the other way around. People from those neighborhoods will be coming through that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we took it as a shortcut when we wanted to go to school or anything. We went down to the end and went through Lord Elgin out to Valleyway, and then we're at Drummond Road, just down the street, and then we went to school, right? Yeah. So, I mean, everybody's been using it as a shortcut anyway, and now this just makes it a shortcut for cars. I can understand the people there getting upset and thinking there's going to be more traffic and that kind of thing, because egress onto Valleyway might be a pain in the neck during when it gets busy down there. But at the end of the day, it's recommended to be approved, and there's no reason not to approve it. It meets all the planning matters and everything else. So I think it's going to be approved. And I know people have concerns. We've gone through this in the neighborhood before with filling in vacant lands, but it'll be approved, and that's that.
It's quite ambitious. It is affordable, if you want to regard. But housing prices in Niagara Falls come down a little bit now anyway. But I don't know how affordable that really is in a matter of affordability. When you talk about people who are really struggling, that's not affordable for struggling people. That's affordable for maybe a middle class guy.
Yeah, if they come in at $399, that's not bad compared to the price of a lot of different houses in the city. We'll see if they come in at that.
Yeah,
that's anticipated.
You can get a bungalow with a yard still for around $600,000. So
yep.
So I don't know. It depends on what they're like. They're 2-bedroom units, so you get 2-bedroom unit for $400,000. Yeah, but the high end of that, I don't know. It'd be interesting. I think it's at the very edge of being affordable.
There you go. Item 8.2, 6104 Garner Road, a 57 unit, 6-story apartment building. And I went on to Google. I didn't even drive out there. Sometimes I drive to the places if they're close. But Garner Road, I looked on Google Maps and that, and man, what a mess that road is. That needs a complete redo. It's not meant for the traffic they're getting there right now with all the new subdivisions going in. Building looks nice. I wouldn't want to be the house next door, to be honest with you, because it's going to go up 6 stories and be looking right down on you. Staff approved the build. There are several complaints that I saw from three neighbors that attended the open house. And basically, drainage, of course, is always a concern. Lighting and sidewalk extensions on Garner Road. I don't think the sidewalks run out past any drive or whatever that is there. I think it's Annie. Is it Annie Drive? I could be wrong. But anyway, they don't extend out, so they need sidewalks. That road, I mean, they got to seriously think about making that a little bit wider and paving it and that, because the traffic it's got, it just wasn't meant for that. There was a golf course and 10 houses on Garner Road, and then SciTech.
Yeah.
That might be another discussion too. SciTech
Are they
being
getting
out there,
Are
that
they
2
getting
kilometer.
Are they getting into that? 2
It
kilometer?
could be. It's close enough. So I didn't really look at the proximity. They never mentioned it, of course. Why would they? And SciTech didn't show any interest in doing a presentation about it. So I'd say maybe it's not, but it could be.
Remember, SciTech has already washed their hands of this. They warned the city, and they said, "Look, we told you that this is what we're going to do. This is our objection. We're telling you. So if you want to go against our objections, and you want to, go within this 2 kilometer zone, that's going to be up to you. But we told you so." So they have washed their hands of it, basically, and put the responsibility on city. They've done that several times. And so if anything does happen, then just go back to the old city reports and say, here we were.
We told you so.
Presenting this right here in this video. You can see it.
So this build will have affordable units, including 10 one-bedrooms, 42 two-bedrooms, and 1 bachelor unit.
1 bachelor.
Yeah. I don't know what the bachelor unit for, superintendent or something, or
it's the developer's kid. He's got a super bachelor pad, right?
Throw the old lady in there. But there's going to be 1 bachelor unit for all you bachelors out there. You can go and apply and
hello, I am a bachelor.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. See. And that's that. And I think the city's going to approve this. No problem. Council will approve it. This bill is going to be approved. And I don't know how many bills they've already approved. Thousands of rooms in that. But unfortunately, we don't qualify for any money from the province because they never get built. Right across the street here.
Yeah, that's interesting. They had the heavy equipment and everything in there. Yeah. And now it just ran away. They took a couple of pictures, shovels and so on. And when all of a sudden, okay, where's it going to go? All of a sudden they leave.
Well, they went from excavators to weed whackers. Yeah. And it needs a weed whacking too.
I say just pave it. Better off as a parking lot.
Oh, hey, wasn't that what it was 8 years ago?
Oh, it may have been.
Yeah, better just to pave it over. Well, wasn't that paved over at one time and everybody parked there and everybody was happy down here? I digress. Items 9.1 and 9.2. The drainage things. Very, very, very confusing.
We've gone over this before, haven't we?
I think so.
I think the last time I was here, we did.
But it was very confusing when you read through it. So what I got out of this, I'll give you my take on it. I could be all wet. Drainage, wet,
Yeah.
I'm getting better at this. But basically, if you're in the urban area, you have sewers and storm sewers and water and everything, right? The services, so you pay for them. When you're in the the country, rural, if you will, then you have drainage ditches and you have cisterns and septic tanks and that kind of thing. Now, of course, cisterns and septic tanks you pay for. Drainage, your property drains into culverts, drainage ditches, that type of thing, or big collectors that take it to the drainage ditches if you have that in your property. And
The honey
and if
trucks.
it gets plugged up or anything like that, you're responsible for it because you're not in the urban area where they have sewers and storm sewers and everything, right? Paved roads, some cases. So that's basically what this is all about. Who are we going to charge for this stuff? And they're saying that, because urbanites like us who live in Niagara Falls proper pay for the sewers and storm sewers and everything, that the people who live out in the rural area should pay for culverts being excavated and cleared out and that kind of thing. So that's what I got out of this. I could be wrong. And so they're just trying to figure out how they're going to charge these people and what they're going to charge them as far as it, because right now we all pay.
Yeah, the Hicks would be taking advantage of this.
Yes.
The Hicks would be taking advantage.
Yeah, that's what I get out of it. Now I could be wrong, so anybody correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, it's very, very confusing to read when you go through it.
Can't blame the Rubes. They're just excellent negotiators, and they've kept us on our back heel. we got to tariff them.
Give them a tariff. That's the best way to do everything. Okay, item 9.3, but I got to read this to you from Gary Wilkins. I have a wonderful way to save taxpayers $185,000 for the ugly shirt contest. Ask Wheels to just show his green shirt. There's seriously not another guy with an ugly green shirt like that. Problem solved.
I should have known that was coming.
Yeah, really.
I was going to wear that shirt today, Gary. I should have known. Yeah,
it's an ongoing thing here. You have to tune in to be tuned in. That's when I say that. That's what I mean.
Well, I think it's the same thing with Alicia's wheels to range syndrome. She doesn't see things the way I do.
Yeah.
Well, Gary himself, he has no style, man. He's got no style at all.
That green shirt is one of a kind. Nobody else has that.
Yeah, and I've got look, I've got compliments all the time.
And fact, Gary,
I know people love it because as I walk down the street, people are pointing at me all the time.
Yeah, well, Gary maintains that nobody else would have a shirt like that. That's why there's only one. Okay.
Is that why I got it on sale?
Here's another one. Item 9.3, another one that makes me mad. More fee waiver applications. At least they're in the mandated time City Council set out to review them, which is, I think there's 3 times they'll review them: March, June, and September. This year, the September one's been moved up to August because of the elections. But here we go. There's another $30,000 here. They're already $65,000 over their allotted if they let these ones go through. They're already 30,000 over, 35,000 over. This will put them at 65,000 over their budget they laid down when they did the capital budget. So they're already over. They entertained requests last month they shouldn't have. They've set a precedent. So here we go. I'll read all the ones out to you, Dave.
Well, that's
Baobab House. $2,083.40 waived building permit and zoning application fees. Chippewa volunteer firefighters, $1,046.04 costs associated with rental fees for baseball diamonds. Qingming Festival, $847.50 to waive staffing costs at the cemetery. Sukkot Festival, Jewish Niagara, $912.40 to waive road closures and special event permits. Number 5, 1812 Battlefield Memorial, $1,130 to waive staffing costs at the cemetery. Rib Fest, back to the trough. They didn't get enough the first time their last meeting. Back to the trough for an extra $1,241.55 on top of the $14,900 they already got to fund the event, and they mustn't have made any money because they're looking for another $1,241. Niagara Falls Convention Center, owned by private investors, I believe. They're looking for $6,574 of taxpayer money to waive the fee for the sign bylaw amendment. And last but not least, Chippewa volunteer firefighters, $16,461 to waive the cost for rental of the Chippewa Arena for the event.
Yep. 16,000. How come it costs so much in the first place? How big is this event?
Is it a carnival? What is it?
I don't know.
16,000.
Slow pitch tournament.
Oh, slow pitch tournament. That's what it was.
So
I didn't
it's-
write
yeah,
that down.
Yeah, so the
So here we
yeah,
go.
that's a heck of a price tag.
Yeah. Now here we have another 30,235.50 of requests that, if approved, will put council $65,000 over their approved budget, with requests coming in at the August meeting. They still have more requests in August. There's one more time people can request money. So I don't know what they're going to do now. They've set all this precedent of okaying everything. What are they going to do? Tell these people they can't have the money? I mean, we seriously have to. Well, I'll talk about it more tomorrow about that. But Davey, there's got to be something done about this.
Well, yeah, because the more as the city grows, there's going to be more and more liens on it. Well, we got this event. We got the. I've never heard of the Qing Ming one before. As a matter of fact, if I said there's a Qing Ming festival, somebody would say that was racist for making it up.
No, you're not. It's right here.
So anyway, and that happens in a cemetery. So to waive the staffing costs for the, I don't know. Maybe it's important. If it's only $840, I don't know why the community can't pay for itself. But I think they're emboldened by the fact that everybody else has got their hand out and looking for money for that.
Well, when they start approving it all, it sets a precedent, and now everybody starts coming. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. They have options here. They can say yes, they can say no, or they can give them part of what they're asking for. So Chippewa volunteer firefighters are asking for 16 grand. Well, they can say, well, we'll kick in 8, or we'll kick in 3 or 4, and then you supply the rest. So there are options, and the Penguin has made it clear to them many times about the options they have, but we'll see what they do. It's hard to say no when you've given everybody else the money. That's all I'm going to say.
And it's human nature. We want to be that way. We want to be generous, don't we? Okay, you're going to have the Chinese Korean festival is going to have a Qingming festival in. That's good. Let's welcome the Chinese community and let them have their thing. And then you've got the Jewish one here too. Okay. Sure. Let's be wide open to them. They got the Baobab thing. That's an African women thing. It all seems to be segments. The one I don't really object to is the 1812 Battlefield Memorial. But that's for everyone. That's his historical society.
Yes.
So it's not a specific one. The Rib Fest thing. Why is that happening? And how does that compare to Ribstock? How come Ribstock do it more sort of independently?
Well, I mean, they didn't go to city council and ask. And I said that last meeting when we were here. If I was Ribstock, guys, I'd be right at the city council meeting saying, hey, you gave 16 grand to these guys. What about us?
Well, the Ribstock guy messaged us on our show, Peter and my show one night, and he pointed out something the same. Yeah, we didn't ask. We're not going to ask, kind of thing. We can handle it on our own.
Well, I think that's what most people should be doing. I mean, if they do something, and there's ways to get around this, and we'll see if any of the candidates come up with ways to deal with this. But I will definitely be talking about ways to deal with this mañana, because we don't have time to go too far into this. Item 9.5, Gary Wilkins is waiting for this. Move this to this meeting from last meeting. So they're going to talk about this last meeting. It was moved to this meeting. A bylaw to recover a portion of the city's costs when responding to complaints to the Integrity Commissioner that are deemed frivolous or vexatious. And to me, dictatorship is in full swing if this gets approved. And this is a big deal because of a lot of different reasons that I'll once again go into tomorrow. But suffice it to say that, basically, if you make a complaint to the Integrity Commissioner, they're going to pick your pocket for $1,000 to make the complaint. And if he says your complaint is not valid, it's vexatious or frivolous, which to me is a matter of opinion. The people who are putting the complaint in don't think they're vicious or vexatious or frivolous, of course, or they wouldn't be paying $1,000 to put it in. So if you lose, you have to pay half of the integrity commissioner's investigation, his bill to the city, and that's going to be $5,000, probably between 3 to 5,000, maybe more, depending on the complexity of what he's looking into. So, to me, they're just telling everybody in Niagara Falls, don't bother complaining or do anything against us because you're going to pay big. And the Integrity Commission sides with council most of the time. Most of Jody Burdett's complaints, which are valid from what I've seen, they're not frivolous, they're not vexatious. They've just been turned down by the Integrity Commissioner for one reason or the other. So
Yes.
there you go.
I think there should be some kind of preview, and I thought I saw that here when it says a key feature of this bylaw is that it leaves for the Integrity Commissioner for first make a finding on whether the complaint contains frivolous or vexation allegations and findings within Integrity Commission's statutory jurisdiction. I think I don't know what that means basically, but if they have a sort of a preview of the complaint. Now, people, when they write things up, they get too emotional and they wander off, and they get away from the point. I think sometimes that is interpreted as vexatious and frivolous because of the way in which they're written. If you read some of these things, you got to go right back to Judge Judy. If you ever watch her show, right? She's always
Judge Judy.
She's always shut up. Tell me the facts. You know the facts. Don't go off and tell me how much you don't like something. So I think there should be a preview process.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I said a long time ago, is that you should have a retired, not the integrity commissioner that's going to be hearing the case. I don't like that. But a retired integrity commissioner you hire, and he might charge $200 for his opinion or whatever. And he looks at the complaint with the person and he says, you know what? I don't think this is valid. Not vexatious or frivolous, because that's a matter of opinion. I would look for his looking at it saying, as an integrity commissioner, I think that you have a great chance of this going through. Or as an integrity commissioner, I don't think this has a prayer of ever going through and you winning this against the city councilor. They do that in small claims court. You have a mediation meeting where the judge advises both parties, and he'll say, you don't have a case. If you want to take it further, it'll cost you $100 to go to court, and then you're going to lose, and then you're going to have to pay court charges. And that's my opinion as a deputy court circuit judge or whatever. This is the kind of thing that, that they need, and then they don't get into these things. But I don't think it should be the integrity commissioner. I think it should be a third party.
Yeah, definitely. A third party, unbiased party. They can give valuable advice on how these things should be written up and what point you're trying to make. They can save a lot of people a lot of problems, but what they're trying to do now here is to issue sort of means by which to limit the amount of things that people can say. And even people with legitimate complaints will not come forward because they feel someone's going to say they're vexatious or immaterial, and they're going to be out money for that. So I think basically that whole thing is there's got to be something done, but to keep charging people more and more money is the wrong way to go. Definitely the wrong way to go. You can save money for paying the integrity commissioner by just having a preview of the complaints that come forward.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I mean, that's what you want. You want the ones that maybe are valid to get to city council. But I think they should drop the $1,000 charge and go to a thing like this, and the person who's making the complaint has to pay to sit before this person and review it, and it'll cost a couple $100, and that would be the charge, right? To get his opinion. And then if they want to go ahead with it, well, then then they lose. They got to pay.
Yeah, there's got to be definitely something in between. Something the complaints are going up, the integrity commissioner payouts, but what do other cities do? There's got to be all kinds of cities with the same situation where they have a lot of complaints coming in, and some of them look to be vexatious and immaterial and all that other stuff, or frivolous. But they're dealing with it. You don't hear them other cities coming up with their huge fees for integrity commissioner.
If the truth be told, I mean, they just said Jody Burdette. They always pick on Jody. It cost the city $150,000, and if we use Tiffany Clark, the squirrel, her math, that's about you know um, 50 cents a month on taxpayers' bill to uphold democracy. And to me, that's peanuts. 50 cents a month to uphold democracy, so people have the right to question their city council in a democratic way. I mean, that's the way democracies work. You have the right to question the integrity of the people you elect. So for me, I mean, they can't use that as an excuse. They do. They cry about that all the time. Oh, the taxpayers. Mike Strange gets up there. Oh, the taxpayers. Get the hell out of here. It's so minimal to uphold democracy. You took an oath on the Constitution or whatever the hell you did there to get city council. Don't you have to take an oath to uphold the Constitution or the Charter of Rights and Freedoms?
Yeah, imagine. I don't know.
Well, you probably do.
Yeah.
So if you do, then uphold it and let freedom and democracy reign.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Yeah.
Didn't Thomas Jefferson or somebody say that? I don't know.
Oh, well, good old Tommy just said a lot of things, Yeah, he said about freedom of men, and then he owns a slave.
Yeah, well, that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to that, I'll get more into that tomorrow. I'll be spitting fire tomorrow about that one. 9.8 McLeod Road reconstruction budget amendment. They want to amend the capital budget for another $1 million. They're already up to about 7 or 8 million of amendments so far this year. I don't think the ink's dry on the friggin' budget that they actually okayed, and they're already up about 7 or 8 million bucks on it.
I don't see why they didn't see this coming. Or just water main extension, McLeod Road, Yale Drive, or something.
Yeah,
well, that's pretty much ordinary planning. How come they didn't see that coming?
Well, I don't know, but the bottom line is, to me, is they raised our taxes 4.5% because they didn't have enough money to cover the expenses with the revenue they were getting in. Where are they getting this other $7-8 million for these capital budget amendments they're putting through? Yeah, I thought they didn't have any money. That's why they charged us 4.5%.
Yeah, really. So I don't know.
That's my only question. Somebody ask the question, please. 9.9 protecting Ontario streets and community. A lot of mumbo jumbo talks about safety on the streets, but it has to do with bylaw infractions. Nothing to do with the 5 pages of baloney that they put out. Confusing again, to say the least. I don't know what they're trying to do with this Bill 119. Dave, do you have any idea?
No, I don't. Why do I say that so anything that improves safety is good, but a lot of times safety is really just practical things. Better lit streets. Walk down to make sure that your daughters don't go walking down the street on their own. Make sure there's people out there. I don't know. I think there's a lot to do with just common sense.
True enough.
The Americans have found out the more well lit a city is, the least crime and physical assaults happen. So that might be part of it, but.
Yeah, they also find that the more criminals that are in jail, the less assaults and crimes on the street. And that usually helps, too.
Yeah. Well, the Americans have the most incarceration than anyone. Doesn't seem to be helping them too much.
They don't have enough. They need more private prisons.
Well, humbug.
I'm at 10 now, Dave. 10.1, low-income seniors and people with disabilities, water and property tax rebate program. So it's a great read for people who may qualify for this, and they tell you how to qualify for it. So yeah, that's a good one for low income seniors and people with disabilities. They can get rebates on their water and their taxes. I don't see much to talk about. 11.1, of course, no flag raisings. Item 11, through that, there's flag raisings. I'm saying NO, big no.
Addiction awareness. Who's even paying attention? The proclamation requests and things like that. Sometimes it's okay to have these things come into the public mind through city council and stuff like that. But no, I'm with you. No flags.
Yep, no flags. Don't get into geopolitics. No. Just stay out of it.
If the ambassador to Kazakhstan comes to Niagara Falls, Yeah, you put up the lights on the falls, right?
Yeah,
Put the flag
give
up on
him
the
give him
falls.
his whatever
Yeah.
colors they have.
That is some kind of protocol or ceremony if he visits City Hall or whatever.
Give him the key.
Yeah, that maybe you might want to raise a flag there that particular time, but just to do it, no. No.
And-
Anyway, 3 flags. You and me are like
Yep.
Canada, Ontario, and the region or the city.
Region City. That's it. Same with schools. Same with schools. It should be the Canadian flag. No other flags.
Yes. With the
I asked somebody a question about that. One of the trustees that are running for the city for the separate school board about diversity, equity, inclusion, and that kind of thing, and everybody got mad at me. Well, because guess what month it is? And right away they said I'm a gay basher and I'm a homophobe.
Well,
they're calling me all kinds of names about that.
Well, they can't even decide what flag they want to use. That's and how many letters I want to use. That's another thing.
Canadian flag.
Yes.
Follow me, Dave. Yes. Canadian flag.
Good.
Provincial flag.
Good.
School flag.
Good.
And that's it.
Beautiful.
Don't get into this stuff. Then you won't get any questions about it. But it's a question somebody's going to ask one of these trustees, especially from the separate school board. So rather than get mad at me for asking the question, come up with a good answer. And the person did come up with an excellent answer. Good job. Yeah. I won't mention any names, but probably people can guess. Item 12.2, Brad Pine chiming in here. He wants a term limits for council and a mayor. I think this has been probably talked about since the Maid of the Mist went over the falls in a canoe.
Term limits. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's come up again.
It comes up all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, every time. I brought it up during my when I ran in '94. Everybody's brought this up. He thinks that 3 terms of 4 years, 12 years for the mayor or for council too. And I don't know if you're gonna have term limits. I think it should be 2 and 4. That's it. 4 years, 2 terms. That's it.
Well, you see, Wayne Thompson. If you go back to the early review years when he first came in, he thought I'm only going to do this for so long.
Yeah,
and then he became a lifer. Like his initial idealism was that a person should be a public official for just so long. And of course, he changed his mind. I think it's a good idea.
Me too.
I think it's a very good idea to have term limits. What this does is bring new blood into the situation all the time, right? New ideas. The way it is, you're stuck with the same people, generation after generation, and then you wonder why they're so out of touch. Well, they've been there forever, and they don't see anything any way different.
No, and you start to have really good friends in certain places, and it just gets to be, this stops it. And they can run again maybe if they want, like after sitting out a term or 2. I don't mind that idea. But just for 8 years, I think 8 years you can accomplish what you're going to accomplish and then hand it off to somebody else with a new perspective on it, some new ideas. City councils weren't meant to be retirement programs for people. The good ones stay in city council, and then they move up to MP, MPP. They move up the ladder, the good ones. The other ones are there for a paycheck for life. They're lifers, and they'll get elected because Niagara Falls, of course, that's the way they vote. So if we want new blood, new ideas, give new people, younger people maybe a chance to get in, we need term limits. I agree with Brad. I don't know if it should be 3 4-year terms or 2 4-year terms, whatever, but just something to change the flow of the way these councils are run. We have an election coming up October 26th, and you can almost guarantee that the same people that are there now are probably going to be back.
Yeah,
unless something big happens.
I'm completely in favor of term limits, unless, of course, I ever get elected.
Then I want open. Then I don't want any term limits.
That's break right there.
Yeah, it's like I love dictatorships as long as I'm the dictator.
Yeah,
right. That's 12.3. Once again, we see some poor taxpayer having to take care of city property along St. Paul Street. So this lady who owns a big boulevard along St. Paul Street, she's disabled and she can't cut it anymore. The city used to do it, but they're not doing it now. So, she's got to either hire somebody or whatever to do it. and the city used to do it, and it's along St. Paul, a busy street, and she's right edging it. So she's saying, we want the city to do it, and I'm saying, yeah, sure, why not? And while
Well,
they're
they
at
just
it,
charge her.
through her
Right.
sidewalks too.
Well, they charge
Sure.
her.
Why not charge? Yeah.
If she's okay with that. Otherwise, why does she just? There's lots of people to hire out there that will do that.
I don't know. Maybe she don't have the money.
She's got that much property. She's got coin.
I'd say so,
Yeah.
but for some reason, I think the city just did it for her, and all of a sudden they're not, and she's going, "Oh, what the heck?"
What am I supposed to do now?
Yeah, hire somebody like I do.
It depends on how old and infirm she is. Sometimes it's hard to communicate these things to the aged.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, if she can't find a solution on her own, or someone who is her advocate can't find a solution for this, then the city should do it and then just add it on to her bill, her tax bill. That'll give a few more city people jobs too.
Yeah, there you go. I'm moving on to 14.1. Unless you have something else in between those, Dave, to talk about. I didn't see anything else that I really.
No, I didn't. Nothing else jumped out at me. Motion has Chippewa boat ramp.
Well, Chippewa, yeah. Item 14.1 is my next one.
Yeah.
Deputy Entertainment Director Mona Patel has a motion to enhance the bathroom facilities at the Chippewa boat ramp. And I agree with this one. A lot of people use those ramps, and they need decent washroom facilities, especially after a day of boating and slugging back beers all day out in the river. They come back to the boat ramp, and they got to go. And guess what?
I'm wondering if Mona's got a boat.
Mona might. I don't think so. Do they have boats? Do Indian people have boats?
I don't know. Maybe she's just been there and found that, this is not. I wonder who appealed to her for this. Like, I kind of think if she's gone there, use the washroom, not like that.
Probably the boating guys who go out there and slug beer all day and come back and they got nowhere to go. They got to go in the tree behind the tree.
Oh.
Probably those guys.
I just go swimming.
Yeah. Well,
I got to go for a dip again.
Yeah, that's all right when you're out in the river.
Yeah.
Right? But you can just go over the side, right?
Yeah.
Wave at people as they go, It's like Eddie on Christmas Vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Merry Christmas. It's full.
I got to get a dicky like he had.
Yeah. I don't want that. But anyway, I would say if you're going to do that, Deputy Entertainment Director Mona Patel, get ready to spend big money, though. Maintenance and vandalism are the problems with this kind of a plan. And I would say that Gary Wilkins will back me up on this one. Get cameras ready to roll so that you can catch the guys, the people that are abusing these things. Because that's what's going to happen 9 times out of 10. You have public bathrooms and they become centers of filth.
Yeah, I don't know what people do, why people want to vandalize these and make them ugly. I just don't get it.
Me neither.
There are some weird people out there. And I don't know. Yeah, put cameras on them. Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like they did with Oaks Park. Are they up and running yet, Gary? I don't know. Gary would know. Okay, Dave, and that's all I got. That's it.
Me too, I think. Is
there anything else you have there that we missed, maybe?
Oh, I just like the idea of the Shark Tank where the staff pitch ideas for innovative, save money and stuff like that. That was kind of cool.
That was kind of cool, yeah.
And of course the Brad Pine's idea, yeah. So that's about it, yeah.
Okay. Now, if there's any last minute changes to the agenda, and sometimes there are when they come up on Tuesday, they add comments from city residents. Usually Jody Burdett has a couple of comments there. I'll talk about them a little tomorrow if there's anything big that comes up. Other than that, I'll talk about some other controversial items on this agenda that we didn't have time to get into today. So I will talk about them on the show, of course. Wednesdays, absolutely. So we're moving through the week. And Thursday, I will be sitting on the show and also taking a look at the antics of City Council, because I'll have watched the show on Tuesday at 4 o'clock. It starts around 4 o'clock. I'll have watched it. And then I'll be able to comment on what these city councilors are up to. And that's always an entertaining show. I'm going to tell you that right now. Tune in on Thursday. Davy Boy, of course, has his own show called Talking Live with Peter Giblet at 7 in the morning, and you can usually catch it on Facebook.
You should
or
listen
later.
in, Alicia.
Yep. Either
Alicia's
way.
got a severe wheels deranged syndrome, but I mean, if she's sure, if she listens to my show, she'll see the light.
I have seen the light. And yeah, that happens at 7 in the morning every morning. So if you tune in, you can go to Facebook or YouTube to look at it later on in the day. It's on YouTube as well. I watch it on YouTube. So there you go. So that's out of the way. Tune in to Dave's show. It's a good show. I usually watch it in the morning. It depends. Sometimes I'm writing my show and I don't have time to watch it, but I usually try to tune in and get some comments in there every once in a while. What else is going on? And that'll be Thursday and then Friday. I want to get a guest in during the week. Maybe I'll get Chris Regis or somebody in here just to talk about some other stuff. So we'll see what happens the rest of the week. That's it for today. Thank you for tuning in to City Council Agenda Review with Dave Wheeler. Of course, don't forget to support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, and Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. They're the only sponsor I have right now. WildBillsAuto.ca. Go to the YouTube page, Paul Lemire 4973. Subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing. Share the video. Let's get more people involved. Go to Talking Niagara. Subscribe to their channel as well. Come on. The more people talking about this election and getting involved, the better it is. Let's get people involved. I'll be talking about it every day as we get to the election. I have a lot more to talk about. Other than that, we're out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Mr. Dave Wheeler.
Thanks again, Paul.
Bidding you adieu.
I bid you adieu. Yes, without further ado, I bid you adieu.
There you go, from the studios of 4680Q, downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. God bless you all. And I have one question left, Dave.
What's that?
I will be here tomorrow at noon. Will you? We're out of here.
Yep. Bye-bye. I got